Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're now delighted to be joined by Dr. Zeinab Nawar, Professor of Economy. A very good afternoon to you, Doctor.
Hello, my dear.
Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Zeinab. Now, a very important summit is being held in Paris, of course, with the attendance of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. And after several meetings, one of the main issues that are being discussed between the attendees is the African economies and how to assist them in their recovery, especially post-COVID-19, with regards to as well eliminating some of the debt that they owe international lenders. How important do you see this summit, Doctor, and how important is it in the African continent's economic recovery?
Yes, I see this meeting specifically that the president is tackling the issue of supporting the African countries because unfortunately and because of COVID-19, a lot of African countries now are going to be moving into more poverty because they are lacking the resources to buy the vaccine and the vaccination. Mm-hmm. So when some of the European countries or whatever, we talk about the international community, when they are just doing some sort of relief of the debt of these African countries, so definitely they will help them to keep some of the resources at their budget so they can spend on buying the vaccination, and then this will, of course, will be reflected in the health of the African people. Mm-hmm, so indeed. Supporting Africa and supporting the African people, important these days, and because of COVID-19, these countries are suffering from a lot of economic problems, and COVID-19, unfortunately, added more suffrage to these countries. Mm-hmm. So definitely, this talk by the president, and also what the president is asking the international community to support Africa. This is very crucial, mm-hmm. and this is to come to the interest of the African citizens. Mm-hmm. The president talked about the African people and the international community to support the African countries even before the COVID-19, when the president had traveled to Russia and also to Germany. Mm-hmm. So Africa needs a lot of support and it needs a lot of help from the international community. Yes. And this is their role to do towards Africa.
Indeed, indeed. Now, Dr. Zeinab, we're discussing, the handling of the continent's billions of dollars in debt. So the leaders are also going to be discussing the transfer of technology to Africa, as well as its integration of its African economies into the global economy to further really assist its revival on the economic front. How important is this for African nations in the upcoming period, Doctor?
This is very important, and it has been done through several initiatives from the president, Fattah el-Sisi, and also from the G20. They are trying to support and help Africa in this type of more FDI towards Africa, more technology also in supporting Africa in terms of economic growth and economic development. But I see that it still needs a lot of effort from the African government themselves to take the advantage from from the president's initiative and from the world initiatives also, and to make the best usage of this. Because if you're asking for more FDIs to go to African countries, so African countries have to work on political stability, mm-hmm. Working on reform for laws and regulations. Mm-hmm. They have to work on all of this as a platform to attract more FDIs and more technology to their continent.
Indeed. Dr. Zeinab, it is estimated that the African continent needs new sources of financing to help bridge the $2.5 trillion gap for development in Africa. How do you see this being dealt with, especially with regards to investments in African countries?
Actually, for Africa and more investments and investors to come to Africa, yes, definitely they still need a lot and a hell of support, a lot and a hell of aid and also loans to these countries. So yes, they do need of this a lot and a hell of support from different countries, and of course from Egypt. This is what they truly need to But again, it's the role of the African governments themselves to solve any political unrest, any political issues, to make the usage from this continent. If we talk about, we have a human capital. Africa is rich in human capital, and also it's rich in natural resources, and also different capacities and different. We talk about ports, we talk about water, we talk about different types of capital in this continent. So it's for the Africans themselves to make use from all of these resources that they do have. Already, there are different types of aid that have been pumped into African countries under IDA, which have been presented from the World Bank and the IMF. There is specific packages that have been provided to African countries. It's already working, and maybe further needs will be important. However, they have to, for the African countries, to work by themselves, to produce, to work on their human capital resources. All of these are very important, and not only to depend on the international community initiative.
Absolutely right. Dr. Zeinab Nawar, the Professor of Economy. I'd like to thank you very, very much, ma'am, for your time and for joining us here on LTV International with our coverage of this very important summit being held in Paris with the attendance, of course, of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Ladies and gentlemen, we wrap up this hour and this edition, but do stay tuned. We'll be right back with our continued coverage here on LTV International. My name is Angie Meher, signing off.